Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. The following video is a demonstration of me making this box live yesterday. And if you need anything or have any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoy the video. Have a great day. Okay, so today I posted Chick Candy 41 over on my website, and I announced the winner for Chick Candy 40. Okay, so all the details are over on my website. Tonight we're using Cuckoo for You and Tiny Keepsakes. So you can imagine what I'm going to be using since we're making a very small box. Although as I look at this now, I'm like, I see other options I could have used, but oh well. Okay, so here are the supplies. This is a pretty simple project to make, but I think it's cute and it's fun. We're using crumb cake cardstock, and it measures 8.5 by 5, and then we have some Whisper White. And I forgot the Real Red piece, so I'll have to grab that. And then we have 4 pieces of the Designer Series paper that measure 1 7/8 by 7/8, and then 2 pieces that measure 1 7/8 by 3/4, and a piece of Real Red. Okay, so we'll get the Simply Scored scoring tool, and we will score the box. We'll make the box first, and then we'll decorate it. Okay, so we're going to place it on the 8.5 inch side, and I'm going to score it at 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I'm going to score it at 2 inches on the 5 inch side on both sides. Okay. Now earlier today I was thinking about making this box bigger. And I made it so big that it's almost like not even the same box. So I decided to save that one for later and just go ahead and show the same project as a Christmas version. Yeah, because all the measurements changed. This is using box template 3B, and I was like, well, I could call it 3C, but it doesn't have any of the same measurements. That was just my starting point, so I scrapped it, but you're going to love it. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to the 1/2 inch side, and I'm going to cut this section off. Whew, I cut almost too much. And then this one. So the Halloween version of this box uses the delightful tag topper punch, which is currently on back order. So tonight we're going to use the scallop tag topper punch. Okay, so I removed the 1/2 inch strip, those 2 pieces. I angle cut those, and then down here I'm going to cut up to the score line on all 3 of those, and the same thing on this side. Okay, so the piece that is closest, or that is next to this 1/2 inch, you're gonna use the I can't talk, the scallop tag topper punch. So you're gonna use it on the 1st and the 3rd when you're starting on the 1/2 inch side. Okay, so I've got my scallop tag topper punch, and then for this one I used the delightful tag topper punch. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, did I? I did, yeah. They're similar. They're both in the annual catalog. Okay, now I'm going to put this back on the Simply Scored scoring tool. Uh-oh, I moved this. And I'm going to score at 1 inch, just these 2. Let's see, I want the white in. Whew, I went a little crooked there. Okay, so here's where we are. I'm going to fold on those score lines. Now we're going to place adhesive here. I am going to use my tear-in tape. I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool to remove the backing. And then fold that over and fold this over. Okay, so that's the back of my box because that's got the seam. So that makes this the front of my box since the seam is back here. So I'm going to add my tear and tape here. Okay, now fold these sides in, fold that down, and fold that over. The bottom isn't going to look completely perfect. It's okay. Not very many people look at the bottom. So someone asked me earlier today if a Reese cup would fit in here. So I was going to show you guys. It will if you shove it, but if you buy the snack size ones, those fit. So this is not the snack size. This is like there's little ones now. Do I have any? I don't, but I just bought a bunch of bags of candy. They're upstairs. So the little ones will fit in here. The little round ones will fit, and then there's a new package. It's like that long and that wide. It will fit. So Laffy Taffy will fit. And I think, as I showed you guys earlier, the little mini Kit Kats will fit. The trolleys will fit. I have to say, this candy down here is making me want to eat it. Okay, so I'm going to fold that over. And that's how it's going to close. But we're going to wait to close it in just a minute. So let's get our Designer Series paper pieces. Okay. I hated cutting up that little happy snowman, but it's okay. I'm going to use that paper on something else. Oh, goodness gracious. The dog next door is barking. So then there goes Ruru. He sees my lights, the dog next door, so they kind of freak him out. It looks like Fort Knox down here. Or maybe like a UFO. Okay, so I'm using the liquid glue to add the Designer Series paper. It's starting to get dark now. Earlier, I don't like it at all. Yeah, it's already like dusk outside. When my sister and I talk sometimes, it's still daylight here and it's completely pitch black at home where she is in Tennessee. And it's so crazy because it's the same time. We're both on Central Time, except it's pitch black dark there and the sun's still out here. It's like, wow, I don't understand. But it's because we're west, I guess. Okay, so there's those. Now I'm going to add these two. I wonder if I were to call her at 5 in the morning if it would be light sooner there than here. I don't know. I would rather not get up at 5 a.m. Okay, there's that one. And then here's this one. Okay, so now we can close it. Looks pretty good so far, right? So I'm going to take the Real Red cotton ribbon. I don't know if I've used this lately. I don't think I have. It's really nice ribbon. Ugh, I have ink on my fingers. That had ink on it, if you're wondering why I tossed it. Since I still have to take pictures of the samples, I don't want ink on it. Okay. I have to say I am a little bit wiped out. I'm a little tired. I cut Designer Series paper all weekend, cut and packaged it. So I'm a little lethargic. Okay, so I'm going to take the linen thread to tie this. Yeah, so I filmed a video earlier today for, was it Stamp Club Online? I think it was for Stamp Club Online, and I sounded hoarse. It's just because I'm tired. I don't have a cold or anything, thank goodness. Knock on wood. Whew. I'm going to get my flu shot earlier this year than later. I used to never get them, but now I'm terrified of getting the flu. Okay, so there's our cute little bow. Now, what am I doing next? Oh, we have to stamp. So I am using the reindeer. So when I created this project, or when I was making it, I was thinking reindeer food. So you could turn this box into a reindeer food. Yeah, you could. Little pack of oatmeal with some cookie sprinkles inside. Okay, so there's him. And then I'm going to take the Tiny Keepsakes Mary Mary image, and I'm going to stamp this 2 times because I just figured out the greeting for this project a little bit ago, and it took me a couple times to master it. So I just want to make sure that I can. I did it 3 times in a row, so you'll see what I mean in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 Stampin' Blend markers, and I'm going to start with these. These are the Frosted and Clear Epoxy Droplets. They are in our annual catalog. So I'm going to take the dark Real Red Stampin' Blend marker, and I'm going to color one of these shiny ones. You can use the frosted if you want, but since I have plenty of both of them, I'm going to use the shiny this time. Okay, now we'll set that aside to dry. I'm going to color, so this is light soft suede, light crumb cake, and dark Real Red. And you don't have to use the Real Red on his nose, but just in case, well, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to stop talking. So I'm going to color the rack or antlers. This is the light soft suede. And then I'm going to color that inside of its ears. Whoops, I went out of the line. Oh well, it's okay. And then now light crumb cake. He's cute, isn't he? And then I'm going to go ahead and color its nose, but we are going to be covering that up with this epoxy droplet. So you don't have to do that, but maybe if you were to see through the droplet at all, it would be helpful to have it colored. Okay, so here's, don't freak out on me. So I stamped this. You saw me stamp it. I'm taking the classic label punch, and I am cutting that part off. That's not the one we're using. We'll save that for something later. This is the piece I'm using, okay? I want this greeting really small. Okay, so there it is. And then now I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut that at an angle. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Here's our greeting. Okay, so now we're going to get the dies out. We're using the Ornate Frames dies. Yes, this is the the one that's included in the Halloween set. I told people I was going to be using it for Christmas as well. And then I'm also using the stitch shapes. So that's the stitch square. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and get the big shot real quick. Margaret, my linen thread is on our paper piercer. Let me get that back. So our old retired paper piercer, and it is in a chick stand, and I keep our baker's twine and linen thread on there. It's the perfect spool. Yeah, so the chick stands are over on my website. That was a great question. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this piece out. And now we'll cut this one out. And yes, it is a very close fit. And I mean very, 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 very close. It was a little bit of a struggle to find a Christmas image that was small enough to fit on this box. I could have used just a greeting the way I did with this one, but I couldn't find a really beautiful font, and we don't have the embellishments. The snowman ones are on back order, so that's the reason I went in this direction. Okay, so he's cute though, right? I don't want to lose my framelits or dies, so let me put those back in their pocket. Okay, here's our box. Get our little droplet here, and I need to get the little pieces out of this. Okay, what am I doing? I'm going to attach him to the real red piece just with some liquid glue. So I'm going to add just a dab. That was a little bit more than a dab, but uh-oh, that slid. Whew. I always say that's the great thing about the liquid glue, is that you can move you can move the item while it's still drying. And then now I'm going to take a dimensional and put that on the back. We can turn him over now and pick up our epoxy droplet. It should be dry now. Make sure you let this dry, because otherwise you'll get it on your finger and you'll get it on your paper. Cute, right? Okay, so now, where's our greeting? So here's our greeting. I'm going to add it with liquid glue. And I went round and round of where to add this thing to. So you are welcome to change up the greeting and the placement of it if you make this project. I'm going to show you a couple other options that I was playing with earlier today. Okay, so then this is going to go here. Okay, so there you have it. It's pretty simple, but it's still really cute, right? So this is the one we just made, and this is the one I made earlier. Cute. And then here's the the Halloween version. So today when I was playing with this, I used the ornate frame dies. So instead of the, if you don't have the stitched shapes dies, you could use one of the ornate frame. We can turn it around and you can see. So I thought about doing that. That's kind of cute. I used the stitch circle instead of the stitch shape. That looks cute too. I use the square because sometimes people tell me I always use circles. So I'm like, okay, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's use a square. But I was uncomfortable with that dead space right there. Now let me show you another direction I went. I just couldn't pull it off though. I stamped like 20 different greetings and I just couldn't get it. But let me turn this over so you can see the direction I was going. I was really trying to use that moose set, and I love this little raccoon on the log. But that don't go like it's cute, but it's not right. Like it's got to go back to the drawing board. And I fussy cut this out. There is no die for that one, but anyway, I'm going to use this guy on something. I just got to figure out a greeting for him. Or maybe I'll just use it on a bigger project and use a punch or a framelit. Yeah, or a die. Okay, I'm going to sign off and go have dinner with my husband. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Thank you.